What up? It's your boy Darth back at it again with another video, and today we are here with Attack on Titan Season 4. Last episode was amazing. It was one of those episodes that reminds you why you enjoy a show as much as you do. It reminds you why you love the show that you're watching. And honestly, for that episode specifically, and for this show specifically, it kind of just reminded me why I believe that Attack on Titan is a masterpiece. Not just a really good show, but a masterpiece. Last episode, I think we can safely say that that is Eren. There's no way that that isn't Eren. I refuse to believe that that isn't Eren, and I know for like 100% that that has to be Eren. Now, with that being said, if that is Eren, that doesn't seem very good for Marley. And it's funny that I'm saying this, that I say that because like we're supposed to hate Marley, and all this other shit, but we know people on the side of Marley that are, so far becoming like people that we kind of care for, with Gabi and all the other stuff, and their families. So, and if they're in like Liberia, whatever, which I don't think that our team would attack Liberia, whatever. They would probably attack the inner city that has the Marlians in it. So the point is that it looks really bad for Marley. As much as they feel like they have the upper hand in when it comes to Paradise, it's not looking good for Marley. And I think that Eren's being there is just a punctuation on that. So this, I know that there's a festival coming up. That's like a perfect time for them to, basically fuck shit up. If they wanted to, then they definitely could during that that festival. You could have you have Armin, right? Like Armin could just walk into the middle of Marley, cut his thumb, and you would decimate millions. Like, so just him alone, just having Armin there alone is a death, like a nuke in the middle of your city. And then you have Eren, you have Mikasa, you have two really strong Titans, technically three, and you have Mikasa and the rest of the game basically about to wreak havoc. So it's not looking good for the Marlies. Now, I don't want to talk too much because I know that the discussion is going to be crazy. And, I kind of just want to get into it because I feel like that this is about to be a crazy episode, mostly because after this episode, they're going on a break. And I'm sure that they're going to leave us with some shit. You feel me? Some shit. Because that's just the Attack on Titan way. So we're just gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Attack on Titan or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. My Instagram is Darth2H's. My Twitter's @NotDarth. You can DM me, you can add me, whichever one you want to do. I'll respond to it and make a video on it as soon as possible. So, with all that being said, let's get our headphones. Get our headphones. Make sure them bitches on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Really sick. So, oh, from the outside, Aaron's really matured. I want to tell him I'm here and doing just fine. Wait, is Aaron not with? Is 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 Aaron not with the group? Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. If Aaron isn't with the group, whoa, what? Because he says, I want them to know that I'm doing just fine. So that he doesn't know any Marlians. So he's got to be talking about um the 104th, which also that also makes me think that they're not only like in deep cover, I think they're assimilating. Like that's gotta be like it's bigger than just being in deep cover. They are literally assimilating to life in Marley. Of course, they have a plan, and they're about to like enact that plan pretty soon, I'm sure. But they are really assimilating into life. I think Eren's on his own right now. Oh shit. That makes things really complicated. At least for our group, that makes things really complicated. Oh fuck. Cause now that tells me that Eren's gonna go even more rogue. Like he is rogue already. Fuck. Oh shit. Y'all are a lot more lively than I thought. I thought I thought the Tybur family was gonna be like this dark, grim, gothic, like. So who's right here? Okay. Because here's the thing: if Helios is this big hero that's like he defeated, like he at least led the charge, then that says a lot about him or the people that told his story. Maggoth, what are you? It's very hard to figure out what side anybody's on, whether they're Marlian or they're Eldian. Oh. Another thing, Colt is Falco's brother, but he really wants Gabi to go, which leads me to believe Colt is trying to protect his brother. That's also a good point. You can't say anything really. Oh shit, you're actually gonna say something? Whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute. You can't go deep into this, bro. Chill out, chill out, chill out. The hate for Eldians abroad makes here seem like nothing. Really? Interesting. People outside of other countries like absolutely hate Eldians as well, which isn't like exactly surprising, but shit, even more than Marley. This is who I am. God, I love Sophia. She's cool. Oh shit. Ooh. I'm a Jaeger. A physician? Wait! I feel like we need to talk about the Grice family. Stop asking the boy to do you favors. Yep, let's talk about the Grice. We gotta talk about the Grice family after this. You have regrets. Yep, that's Jaeger's family. That's Jaeger's dad. This is Grisha's dad. The day my son took my dog. Oh my. Oh my god. And that is definitely a kimono. That is, yeah, right. That's a kimono, and that tells me you are Asian, if I'm correct. And if you're Asian, you're Asian. Oh my God, his name's Willy. Holy shit, black people in Attack on Titan. Black people in Attack on Titan. What are you? Tomorrow I will reveal the solution in my first ever theater production. To the great playwrights of... Interesting that you call it a solution. It's so much different. Oh man, it's so different from the world. We're so far away. Oh. Damn. Oh my God, don't do this, bro. Don't do this, bro. Lately, it seems like a lot of new things have been... Don't say that. Don't say that. Kind of feel like something is about to... Shut up, Gabi. Shut the fuck up, Gabi. Oh, shit, bro. I'm afraid. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm officially scared. God. The play? Hello? Where's Falco? He saw someone he knew and ran off. What are you doing? What are you doing, Falco? Oh, shit. Oh no. Falco. No, bro. Oh, shit. You can't end it like that, bro. You can't end it like that, bro. Oh my God. Oh shit, it's all coming together now. It's all coming together and I just don't know how to feel about it. Oh no, bro. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, bro. Pain. Alright, let's talk. Let's talk. My bad, I was trying to find something. Alright, yes. Let's talk. First off, we were introduced to the Tybur family. The Tybur family, as I said before, watching the episode, the Tybur family is completely different from what I thought they would be. I thought the Tybur family would be like these, like I said, gothic, very dreary, overbearing, like very dark and melancholy family that's like very depressing, you know. But it turns out they're just a normal family with like kids and running around being brats, and you know they have like the elder, and they have the patron. They have the matriarch, and like I think they had like a patriarch somewhere in there. You know, they had like every figure. They looked like a normal family. But amongst one of them is the Warhammer Titan. And it could be any one of them. I'm automatically ruling out Willy. Ruling out Willy. I don't think it's Willy. For the pure fact that like, and I It may be Willy, because he did talk about the whole like, I don't think it's Willy though. No. I don't think it's Willy. Uh, but it was just such a surprise to see that these people were just normal. They were just a normal family, and to think that a normal family, within that normal family, there's a walking nuke that we just have no idea about, right? And the thing is, Willy didn't even tell Magus who the presumable walking nuke was, which is even scarier because now you don't know if you don't know where this comes from, bro. It's just really scary to know that it could be like a little kid, it could be anybody, and I just don't know how to feel about it. Now, that's just a short little tangent I wanted to talk about. But what I really want to talk about right now is them talking about the the hero Helios. Now, they talked about Helios in like one of the little like side cards, the transitional card things in one of the earlier episodes, and talked about like his triumph amongst the Titans and the Great Titan War and all the other stuff. And the way that they see Helios as like this shining white knight is really, in a way, it's really weird. It's really weird because we know that Marlians aren't really anything but human. They're nothing but human. They're not anything special. They don't have any special powers. There's nothing to the Marlians that make them powerful enough to go, well, now we're just gonna overthrow the Titans after 100 years, or like however long they were being subjugated. They say subjugated. So what was so special about Helios? Two things that could be special about about Helios, and the second option is kind of like a crackpot theory. But the first option is that Helios simply is who they set up to be the face of the overthrowing of the Titans, right? Helios could be their Davy Crockett, their Winston Churchill, their, any other. It's like pick any other like hero face from any culture or any war or whatever. Pick any hero face that you can. Pick anyone, and that's Helios for them, right? Now, how exactly he did it? No fucking clue. No fucking clue how Helios would have overcome subjugation. I would assume that it's a little bit more complex than just Helios leading an army that was just so good and well trained that they could fight off Titans. No fucking way, right? Like, no fucking way. It has to be more it has to be a little bit more intricate than that. Which brings me into my next theory. Helios was a Titan. And when I say Titan, I don't mean one of the 9, right? I don't think he was one of the 9, at least. Like, that doesn't make sense, because at this point, when the Great Titan War happened, I think Eldia had all 9 Titans. I might be so stupid. I might be forgetting that, but I believe Eldia had all 9 Titans. No, they didn't. They had no. They definitely didn't, because in that little illustration, there were Titans fighting Titans. So yeah, that still holds up. Helios may have been one of the first of one of the 9, or at least Helios might have been at least an Eldian, at least, because there's no way, and I mean there is no way that a human Marlian overthrew a Titan army by himself and if not by himself, with the help of other human Marlians, to the point that he got the recognition as a figurehead for the victory. There's just no way. There's just no way that makes no sense. I'm like, if I'm wrong, then shit. That writing is even better than I thought. But right now, I'm seeing Helios. I'm like, bro, you're only human. There's no way that you could overthrow Titans like that. So if Helios is a Titan, if Helos is a Eldian, that brings us into the next like thoughts that the next couple of thoughts that I'm having. If he was a Titan, if he was an Eldian, Marley is using an Eldian to propagate Marlian nationalism, that means that the whole warrior thing, the whole you will become a warrior and you will fight for Eldia and be an honorary Eldian, that would mean not only are they making honorary Marlian, I'm fucking stupid, Marley, but not only is Marley making kids honorary Eldians or honorary Marlians and making them warriors, but they're Marley's first warrior. Marley's first warrior may have been Helios, making Marley kind of more fucked up than I expected. Now, like I said, that's just a crackpot theory that I just kind of thought of like on the fly. So I'm probably totally wrong. Honestly, probably am totally wrong. Like 90% I am totally wrong. Don't tell me if I am, but I am probably 90% totally wrong. But it is fun to think about that Marley's shining, like knight in shining armor, was an Eldian, yet they still treat the Eldians like absolute garbage. They made the warriors in training. They made the warriors in training waiters. And I get why they would do that, because it makes them more subservient. It like drills it into their head a little bit more that you are the help. It doesn't matter if you're on the front line. It doesn't matter if you've inherited this amazing power, godlike power of the Titans. You are the help, and you will always be the help. You will always be a second-class citizen. And as Marley in general, they have to continue to propagate that. So I understand why they did it. Still fucked up. I understand why they did it. But it seems that with the whole Helios thing, if say for whatever reason I am right on the second theory, that means that Marley would have been propagating like Eldians for as long as Marlians could remember that they were Marlians. And that's just kind of crazy though. That's just kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Helios just doesn't exactly make sense to me. I mean, I can only like just kind of theorize when it comes to Helios, because he genuinely doesn't make sense. All right, so next we have what really fucked me up. What really fucked me up is having well, no, we won't talk about that just yet. We'll talk about how Falco almost fucked up. Like, we'll talk about that first, because I think we need to get that out of the way. Because when Gabi and Falco were having that little argument about like oh, there's no point in competing against me, Falco, like I'm gonna be the armored Titan, and then Gabi says something that I haven't thought about just yet, and it made me think. Like, Gabi says, your brother has already been selected, so your family will already be honorary Marlians, so why try so hard? the point to these people, the point to these warriors in training is to be honorary Marlin. They're not doing it because they genuinely are just for the cause. They love Marley, all this other shit. They may have been brainwashed into that way of thinking, and you know that may be the way they were taught and brought up, but somewhere deep inside they don't genuinely feel that, which is also something that we saw when Reiner was talking about his time in parody, and Gabi was like, oh, all kinds of people, like you because if Gabi were fully immersed in the Eldian or in the Marlian propaganda, she would have been like, nah, fuck that, Reiner. There's just devils there, like his mom did right after Gabi said, oh, all kinds of people, you know. So for them, for the warriors in training, this isn't for Marley, this is for their family. This is so their family can eat, so their family is treated well. And when I say that Falco almost fucked up, is because he has to exude that as well. Like for everybody knowing that Falco's brother is a Marlian, or is a will be the Beast Titan, meaning that his whole family is going to be honorary Marlians. You would think that Falco wouldn't have to try so hard, you know. Falco wouldn't have to try so hard, because why try? Your family's already good, dude. Why are you trying? Like, you're not going to be an honorary Marlian times 2 to the second power. Like, why try, you know? But to him, it's not the same reason why they're trying to be a warrior. And he almost let it slip, which he doesn't need to let slip, especially with there being a guard right in front of him. Like, fuck no. Like, you shut up, Falco. Like, shut up. Like, you definitely don't need to be doing all that. But of course he's doing it for Gabi. He doesn't want Gabi to see the horrors that Reiner, Eren, Zeke, all the other warriors that came before all of them, like the horrors that they're going to see. He doesn't want Gabi to experience that. I mean, he likes Gabi, you know, he has feelings for Gabi, and that's obvious. So why would he want Gabi to go through that fuckery? Of course he wouldn't. If Gabi went through that, Gabi would come back not Gabi. Why would Falco want that for someone that he has feelings for? So yeah, he almost let it slip, and he was like, you know, like, hey bro, like, I'm doing this so you don't have to go through it. And he didn't specifically say that, but he almost did, and that would have been terrible. That would have really backfired on him. He should have just been like, it's an honor, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he should have did something like that. That would have made more sense. Yeah, he almost let that slip. Now, another thing that he could have said, which makes perfect sense, is probably also why his brother and his brother became the Beast Titan, or the next up to be the Beast Titan, the candidate for the Beast Titan, and his family wants them to be warriors specifically, is something that I feel like, I mean, I haven't like really talked to anybody about this show because I don't have like a lot of people that, you know, technically watch this show a lot or something like that, but Falco's last name is Grice. And this is something that I noticed in episode 2, and I believe I mentioned it in episode 2. If you go back and you watch, I don't think I cut it out, but if you go back and watch the reaction to episode 2, I mentioned Falco's last name is Grice, which is also the name of the first guy that got kicked off the wall when Grisha was taken to the wall by the owl. And Grice was the same guy that looked at Grisha and was like, why did we trust you? Why did we entrust all of this into someone that was going to fold on us? you know, and it, of course, it wasn't Grisha's fault, you know, why it wasn't exactly Grisha's fault. Well, it kind of was Grisha's fault, but that's a whole nother can of worms that we'd have to open up to talk about that. But, you know, Grice was like, why did we trust you, you know? And for Grice, you know, bottom line, for Grice to be someone that in their eyes defected and tried to basically lead a coup, that's extremely shameful, not only to Grice but his family. So I'm not 100% sure what Grice's relation to Falco, I think he's like their uncle, maybe. I think their uncle. I remember somebody in the comment section for part 2 or for episode 2 said something about it, and they were like, yeah, Grice is their uncle or something like that. Like, they're like, oh, I didn't expect that you would notice that his last name was Grice or remember who Grice was. That's their uncle. So it makes sense that since their family specifically is probably seen as defectors, as basically terrorist, of course the only way to like rectify that is become a warrior, become a Marlian warrior, show them that your family is truly for the cause, that you're truly for the cause, and that your family deserves to be an honorary Marlian. Now here's the thing, they're still not getting it, you know. At the end of the day, they're always going to be Eldians. They're always going to have that on their shoulder. That doesn't matter if they're honorary Marlians, they're still going to get treated like shit. And 2, you're always going to be looked at as the descendant of the guy that basically almost upended everything that we worked so hard to get. And Grice, being such a small character in a way, is a, you know, a lot of people, I would assume that a lot of people wouldn't notice, you know. A lot of people be, I don't know that nigga, like. But for me, the scene with Grice and him being kicked off that wall without being turned into a Titan, and having the other Titans chase him down and eat him, and hearing Grisha yell out to his friends that are newly transformed into Titans, yelling out, you know, like, that's Grice, like, don't y'all remember Grice, like, stop, that's our friend, you know. And like, that scene is so terrible. It's so terrible that how could I not forget Grice, you know? Like, it's really fucked up. So just with that, like, I can see why his family specifically would want to, you know, be honorary Marlians, because in their eyes they're defectors. You know, they're defectors. So now let's talk about the whole Willy and the gravity of his role is, you know. Now, granted, when he started talking about this, it does make you think that he is possibly, I'm going to say like 40% possibly the Warhammer Titan. He might be. I mean, like, the thing is, I don't think he is. Like, this is my thing. I don't think that Willy is a Warhammer Titan, but if it turned out that he was the Warhammer Titan, I wouldn't be surprised either. Because of him, like, just talking about the gravity of his position in the family, and like him, like, I forgot what the specific line was, but him just being the man that like inherited being the man that inherited the position of whatever. I don't know, I may have just missed it and like not have, they probably said who, like, what his position in the family was, but him just being the man that like inherited that role, like, is a big weight on his shoulders. So it makes me think, like, is he the Is he the Warhammer Titan? It's a possibility. I didn't think he was a Warhammer Titan until he had that little monologue. Definitely, he possibly could. I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's definitely not, but it's possible. It's possible. Now, next, this is some shit that totally blindsided me. Eren talking to who is basically his grandfather, and it being revealed that Grisha's father is beyond broken from what happened. What happened to his daughter, and two, like, just regretting what he pushed on his son. And that kind of regret, right, is eating away at his mental health, to the point he was like screaming, just remembering the shit that went down with his daughter and his son. And I remember specifically in season 3, whenever Grisha's dad was, giving Grisha the speech on why would you go out in the fucking outside the walls, you fool, you disgraced our family, all this other shit. And Grisha's head, he was saying he didn't seem like a man who just lost his daughter. So him saying, he seemed more worried about what the Marlians thought about him and being subservient to the Marlians than thinking, oh shit, my daughter just got eaten by fucking dogs. You would think that would be what you were worried about, what you were sad about. But no, it was like, you stupid boy, why would you try to upend our life by going against the Marlians? Not, your sister and my daughter is dead, And to Grisha, that looks like he a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no other way to put it. Like, Grisha, you looking at his dad like, you a bitch. That's crazy. Like, you didn't care that Faye got eaten alive by dogs? Alive at that. I didn't even think alive at that. She wasn't dead. She got eaten alive by dogs. That shit's horrible. That shit is horrible. Grisha's like, you don't care that Faye got eaten by dogs, money? Like, and to Grisha, we're looking at this through Grisha's eyes at that point, because we're looking through his memories. And Faye, his dad definitely did not seem like he cared. But now looking through it in another lens, if you will, another point of view, another perspective, we see that Grisha's dad was devastated about what happened to his daughter, what happened to his son. How could he not be? And I'm sure that Eren knows it's him, because one, he had his father's memories. Two, the dude walked up to him and was like, hi, I'm Dr. Jaeger. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course he knows. And I can only imagine what's going through Eren's head. Like, this is the guy that basically co-opted with selling out on his son, on my dad, But I would also assume that Eren is looking at it from a totally different perspective now as well, because Eren seems kind of out of it in a way that he seems rogue, is the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. But it's just really sad that, like, his dad felt that way, because I would have never guessed. And he looked like he was absolutely in anguish about what happened with his children. Like, why wouldn't he be? It's just really heartbreaking. This entire show is so well written, and it's so sad. It's so sad. Like, I've watched a lot of shows that were sad, but like this show, like, it's that kind of sad where you're like, fuck, man, that's life. That's life. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it more sad because it's real. You know what I'm saying? I haven't watched Game of Thrones before. I've never watched Game of Thrones, and that may sound like a random thing to say, but I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I've heard a lot about it. And so far, Attack on Titan really seems to be like everything that Game of Thrones wanted to be. I don't know why I brought that up. It might be because of the introduction of the Tybur family, but it really seems like Attack on Titan is like everything that Game of Thrones wanted to be. Because like, this shit is riveting. This shit is stupid riveting. Now, I'm not sure if this is like a really big character, or it's gonna be a really big character. Honestly, knowing Attack on Titan, I'm sure that this will come back in some way. But Uda runs into a lady wearing a kimono. Nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing, right? Until I realized, I'm like, she's wearing a kimono. That's Japanese, like, traditional Japanese, like, attire. Festival attire, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's Japanese, Asian, Eastern. The only two clans to be like, fuck what Marley's doing. Eastern and Ackermans. I don't know what that lady has to do with the story. I couldn't tell you. I don't know enough to know if that lady's gonna come back and become like the hero of the new world or anything like that. But what I will say is that it's interesting that there's still Eastern people within this world, knowing that they are one of the only clans to go against the whole hating the Eldian thing, the whole like Marlian way of living, you know, which it's just really confusing, because like, why is my question, is like the question I would ask, like, why specifically did the Easterns say, you know, we're just not down with it. We're just not down with it. And also it also brings up the point that, like, if the Easterns weren't down with it, right? How the fuck did she get into a seat of power? How the fuck did she get into a seat of power? I mean, she's in there as a guest, you know. How in the fuck did she get there? Like I said, I don't know enough to really speculate too much on her, but I will say it's interesting that she's there. It's definitely foreboding that she's there. It makes you feel like things are kind of like locking into place, which pretty much everybody was kind of saying during this episode, that things seem to be on the cusp of change. And if you remember, we in the last episode, we were shown that just before the walls got kicked in by the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan attacked the city of Trost, Eren said, I wish something different would happen. I wish something would change. I wish something exciting would happen. Well, Gabi, you're about to fucking get it. That in itself was the scariest part for me in this episode. Just Gabi saying, I wish things would change. I wish something interesting would happen. Why would you say that? Why would you? And they did in this episode, you know, you could say that not a lot happened. There was a lot of build up for what's going to happen the next episode, I would assume. But they did a good job of just show like making me enjoy these characters a little bit more, which sucks because they're the enemy. They're the enemy. I have to keep on reminding myself they're technically the enemy. But then again, are they? And that's the beauty of the show. Are they enemies? Like, I can't figure out who's the enemy. I don't even think Magath is an enemy anymore. Because Magath is like, yeah, hopefully we can stop the war. War sucks. I'm like, because you would think that Magath would be all for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you expect, like, the role that Magath plays, you would expect him to be the gung-ho, I love war, this is great, this is furthering the brilliance of our country, you know, all that other shit. But Magath is like, I don't fucking like war. That shit sucks. And it goes back to what Eren was saying about war. If everybody knew what war would come to, what war brought, no one would do it. No one would do it. And it makes so much sense because of course no one would do it. That shit sucks. That shit's horrible. It's not fun. People die, families are lost, villages are lost. I'm sure that nobody likes war, and it's something that you forget because so many so I don't want to say like so many, but like a lot of shows or movies or anything like that show some type of war. It doesn't even have to be like actual like World War II type shit, but just like wars in general. They don't show enough of like how much people hate war. Like, people don't like, they always show the gung-ho like for the motherland like kind of villain, and you know the whole this, I'm sure that God would understand the steps that we're taking kind of type of villain, right? But Magath is like, nah, dude, hopefully whatever your plan is can stop the war. Like, and it's the same thing with Zeke, right? Like, Zeke is like, isn't like the first episode, Zeke is like, isn't war a horrible thing, Reiner? So Zeke doesn't even fucking like it, and which kind of makes me suspicious of Zeke. I'm not even sure Zeke is fuck, I don't even know if Zeke is a bad guy, because he's not. Technically, he's not. It's the brilliance of the show. That's the only way I can explain it. It's the brilliance of the show. This shit is... I just don't see how you wrote this. I just don't see how you wrote such a cohesive story. I do this so many times where I'm thinking about like how good the story of Attack on Titan is. And I sit there, I'm like, could I think of a story that cohesive? I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way. Like, there's no way. And then the video that will never see the light of day of the reaction to the first episode of season 4, I even said, even if Isayama was making this shit up as he goes, Toriyama style, how? Excuse me? How are you doing that? Like, this shit is unheard of, if I'm quite honest. And this episode in reality is just like the calm before the storm. Like I said, I am officially scared because now I care for these individuals. I know that Reiner cares for these individuals. I know that these individuals have families. I know that, you know, these families love these individuals very much, and that love branches out to other people. We got to see, like, you know, them converse with people that were that were loving towards them, that were fun towards them, you know, people that were basically their neighbors in that whole festival thing. And at the end of the day, at least subjectively, they are the enemy. And that's what sucks about war. Cause you don't want to. Nobody wants to take a life. Nobody wants to do that type of shit. And it's what Bertold said in season 2. He was like, who would want to do this? This show has so much rewatchability. Like, it has so much. It's so rewatchable. Because Bertold definitely did say that. He was like, who would want to do this, bro? Like, and he may have been talking about just being a Titan, but if you look deeper into it, Bertold might have just been talking about war in general. He's like, who would want to do this, bro? Nobody wants to do this. Like, it just makes so much fucking sense. This shit's so good. This shit is so good, bro. I can't. This shit is so good. Oh my god. Alright, so let's move on to the last topic for the discussion, and honestly is the elephant in the room. Honestly, if you've made it this far in the discussion, just to talk about this, you've good job. The elephant in the room: Reiner and Eren finally meeting. Let me take a sip for this one. Now, what could this mean? Off first glance, like my initial thought, I think Eren is going to try to, in a way, recruit Reiner, right? And I mean, in the beginning of the episode, we've kind of established that Eren might be kind of alone in this, which changes a lot of stuff, right? It changes a lot of stuff, but it still doesn't change the fact that Eren most likely has a plan. Whether it be the 104's plan and they just share a plan, or it's just Eren's specific plan. Eren has a plan. I know that for a fact, at least. And I think that's the only reason that he brought over Reiner. Because Eren wouldn't do it just... At least this new Eren is matured as fuck. Eren might be one of the greatest protagonists in anime. Because Eren... Do you remember Eren, bro? Do you remember, like, real quick, let's talk about this real quick. Do you remember episode 1 through like 11 Eren? Just take a minute to remember episode, fuck it, season 1 Eren. Just remember how that was, and then compare it to season 4 Eren. It's like, not only is the change drastic, because we've had, like, I'm sure I've seen anime with drastic character changes. I'm sure that you've seen anime with drastic character changes. Like, we all have, right? But this seems so natural. It seems like it's so well deserved. Eren is like this matured, given up on life, like chaotic neutral that most anime want to write but fail. He is like, Eren might just come out to be one of the perfect chaotic neutral characters that we will probably ever see in our lifetime. So let's get back on topic. Eren obviously has a plan. And I'm sure that Eren knows, just like Reiner, that Reiner doesn't want to continue on with war. I'm sure that Reiner is so tired of it. I'm sure that Reiner's tired of killing. I'm sure that Reiner is tired of destroying. I'm sure that Reiner is tired of walls, guns, pain, pestilence. Doesn't matter. Reiner is tired of it. Reiner is just tired. And I'm sure that Eren's tired too. And I think that's where the common ground is. They're both tired. They're both sick and tired of being sick and tired. So how do you change that? I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm not smart enough to tell you. I'm not smart enough to come up with that type of shit. I'm not Isayama levels of clever, so I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. But what I can tell you is that Eren might just have an idea of what it is. Now, granted, that idea may waver a little bit now that Grisha's father talked to Eren about regret. And not, just regret in general, right? Which is it was sound advice. It was very sound advice. But I know that Eren has an idea, a plan. And I think Reiner is integral to it. Now, what Reiner's role is, I have no idea. Will Reiner agree to it? Probably not initially. Almost definitely not initially. But will Reiner become tired enough to adhere to it? Probably. Now, that also leads to the next, or not the next, but that also leads to what we talked about in the beginning. There's a festival going on. I'm not sure what Willy's solution is, and it's funny that he called it a solution. In from what Attack on Titan and the Marlian nation is portraying. Interesting that you called it a solution. Probably not a great choice of words, Willy. But okay, let's go with your solution. That's probably not the best thing to call it, but yeah, okay, well, let's go with your solution. And if that solution continues to follow the trend of what it's portraying, I don't think I like that. Actually, now I think about it, because when Willy initially announced his solution, he said that the Marlian solution, which would be the final solution, one may say, the Marlian solution was to exterminate all Eldians. However, he says that he has his solution. Once again, I am not Isayama smart enough to figure out what that is. I'm sure it's going to be mind-blowing, but I am not smart enough to figure out what that is. However, I don't think that this festival ends quietly. I genuinely think that this festival, the end of this festival at least, is going to be the starting point of the end. At this first 4 episodes that we've got to know our characters. We've got to see the city a little bit more. We've got to be assimilated into Marley, the same that I'm guessing the 104th is. I guarantee you they're more or less assimilating into Marley. And now we have to destroy it. God, it's so good. It's so good. I said this in the last video, but I don't think people understand how good this show is. This shit is god tier. This shit is phenomenal. What more could you ask for in the show? I couldn't tell you. But it sucks. It sucks because I know that Reiner's mental health isn't there. I mean, of course it's not. He tried to fucking blow his head off. But yeah, Reiner's mental health is not there. And seeing Eren again, this could make or break him. And I'm leaning towards break. It's just not look like in every episode it just looks worse for Reiner, and I feel so bad for him. And it's amazing for me to say because I used to like not give a single fuck about Reiner. Especially when we found out that he was the Armored Titan. I was like, you fuck nigga. I hate you. But now it's like, somebody give my man a hug. Somebody please hug my mans, bro. It sucks. It fucking sucks. But this show is amazing. This show is genuinely amazing. I cannot fucking wait for the next episode. It sucks that we're gonna have to wait an extra week for this next episode. That shit's gonna hurt a little bit, but take your time, you know, Mappa and everybody else that's putting all their hard work into this show. Please take your time. Please take your time. I never art cannot be rushed. Perfection cannot be rushed. And this shit is both. So I'm not too worried about the whole wait, you know, take all the time you need. This shit is just absolutely amazing. And I've been talking for what I assume is almost an hour, if not an hour. God damn it. I thought I wasn't talking for a long time. I thought I cut it down this time. Fuck. We're just gonna sign off. There might have been other points that I should probably talk about, but once again, I've been talking for an hour, and I also kind of want to do a podcast with Michael that we'll be talking a lot more about like on Attack on Titan stuff and other stuff like that. So definitely doing a podcast on Attack on Titan. So I don't want to give out too much, you know, talk about too much. I mean, once again, I talked for a fucking hour, so there's that. So we're just gonna head off. Thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Attack on Titan or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. My Instagram is Dvrth2h's. My Twitter is @notdarth. You can DM me, you can add me, whatever you want to do. I'll respond to it and make a video on it as soon as possible. Also, real quick before I forget, all on Patreon, I haven't done it yet, but on Patreon I'll have all of episode 2 through 4 here. I'll have the full length reactions on Patreon soon. Just haven't had the time to do it because it takes a very long time to render these videos. Maybe if I shut the fuck up it wouldn't, but it takes a very long time to render these videos. So I will have the full length reactions from now on Patreon. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Also, thank you so fucking much for 10K subscribers. That shit is amazing. Never thought I'd hit it. Never thought I'd hit that. That's unreal to me. But yeah, I just really appreciate it. So yeah, with all that being said, all that fucking gushy stuff and all that shit being said, you all stay amazing, stay safe, tell your friends about Attack on Titan, and take care of yourselves.